Welcome to the Poundcast. I just wanted to say a quick couple things. First of all, we're on Patreon, patreon.com/Poundcast. Go there today to listen to today's Unzipped bonus episode, which I unzipped this, first of all, and you get to see the full unzip, which is my homemade shirt. And that is what keeps this show powered. It's powered by Patreon mostly. And you just go to patreon.com/Poundcast, sign up and get extended episodes of every single episode. We're talking it's called Unzipped. And the only way to get that, yeah, and they're mostly ad free and they
early access too.
And you can have full access to all the older unzipped episodes, and they come out earlier than the free episode too.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to have Poundcast sooner than the rest of these freeloaders. All right. Patreon.com/Poundcast. I also wanted to talk about our other wonderful sponsor, which is lvjco.com. Louisville Vegan Jerky is what they sell at lvjco.com. And the jerky of the month is still Kentucky Future Chicken, which apparently is chicken flavored, and it's a blend of 12 herbs and spices. All right. And if you go to lvjco.com and use the code word Poundcast, you'll get 20% off your entire order. And of course, they don't only have Kentucky Future Chicken. They also have, and by the way, this stuff is gluten-free, animal and cruelty-free, non-GMO, made in the USA. Oh, and guess what? Great source of protein. So, and it has a shelf life of 9 months. All their jerky, all right? Louisville Vegan Jerky, lvjco.com. Use the code word Poundcast for 20% off, and you can have access to 20% off of Serengeti's Chicago Italian beef sandwich. It's Chicago flavor, okay? That's where I am from. Riff Raff's Orange Chicken. That's another flavor. Farby's Roast Beef and Cheddar flavor. And the list goes on. The flavors go on and on. They got the classic flavors. For example, Buffalo Deal. All right. You get the idea. They also have the Toppins, which I did the wonderful song and commercial for. Those are available on lvjco.com. Use the code word Poundcast. We get 20% off. Somebody says here, I'm looking here, I have developed a crippling addiction to Louisville Vegan Jerky, and the results are devastating. Oh boy, that's one of the reviews. Then that's an addiction that you can live with, that we can all like, we can all appreciate. Oh, and they got some awesome merch here too. They got some shirts that look like the Dare logo. Remember Dare to keep kids off drugs?
Uh-huh.
Now they're doing Dare to keep kids off beef jerky. They even have a dog toy. You can't go wrong at lvjco.com. Use the code word Poundcast. So thank you to them.
YouTube.com/thepoundcast. Instagram, the Poundcast. Twitter, TikTok.
Yeah, this show is being filmed, and we are filming it as we speak. And our guest, Tim Held, from the Modular Modcast will be here in a minute. And boy, do we have a great episode for you today. We talk about synths. We talk about music.
Gear.
And boy, oh boy, the Unzipped episode. I think we went an hour for that Unzipped.
We did. We deciphered some.
We couldn't stop talking. It was so much fun. We were just playing Guess the Lyrics, which is a game I put together.
Yeah.
But we also talked about all kinds of stuff. And once again, patreon.com/Poundcast if you want to listen to it. So I think we should just get into the show, Brent.
Sounds good. Sounds fair.
That sounds fair. All right. That's fair enough. Let's roll the crip.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.
And welcome to the Poundcast. Today we have all the way from, where are you located, Tim?
I'm in Tacoma now. When we first talked, I was in Seattle, but we moved.
Oh, all the way from Tacoma, Washington, Tim Held. And we are on your podcast. This is a double. Haven't done this in a while. So we're going to be on the Modular Modcast.
Right. Yeah. And Doug, you were on a couple of years ago. I think maybe during the pandemic, like lockdown era.
Yeah, I was. That's when I bought this. I made something with this bass line.
Oh yeah, that's Erica synths. Is that right?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
that's a nice one.
started buying this gear, but with the intention of like, yeah, I'm gonna play with gear more.
Mm-hmm.
But I end up just using Ableton every time.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of those ruts. But there's actually, I have something here that I'm not just trying to shill, but I think you might dig this because it's like a the circuit tracks. It's like a dual synth, 4 drum machines, and then has some audio ins and 2 MIDI out, so you can control a bunch of stuff, and you can like write full tracks and performances. And it's kind of like Ableton, to where like each one of the boxes on the grid will have its own piece, and you can kind of go in between. So, and yeah, and they're battery powered, so you can like take it with you when you travel and stuff, which I really like.
Yeah, you could play with it on the plane.
Play with
Although
it on
they
the plane. Oh, you got that. Nice, dude. Nice.
This
How do you
I
like
do.
it?
This I have made songs with this. So
Yeah.
it's hard to make a full song with it, but I do like to play with it and then record it into Ableton and then sort of like
Yeah.
arrange it in Ableton. But you are correct. This is a good piece right here.
Yeah, there's like ways you can, you know how you can get like the patterns, and then with like Ableton, you can go down the grid like in the rows and get the patterns to play. You can actually get a way to chain those, so they'll just kind of play through as many times as you tell it. I think up to like 64 measures or something. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean that's like at that point it's like, okay, well now I just push play and it plays the song. Like I don't know, some that could be appealing for some people, but
Yeah, my favorite musical piece of equipment, well, besides my sampler, which I use for my live set.
what sampler do you got?
I got the Roland SP404 MK2 right now.
Nice. Yeah, I've heard
But
that. That's pretty cool.
I also have the 404 SX, the previous one. I had 2 of those. And yeah, still this one doesn't, well, I don't want to get too into the weeds, but there's something about this that's annoying. Basically, I go into DJ Dark Pound, which is like my alter ego, where I turn into an evil version of myself. And on the SX, there's a quick button right here. It makes my voice pitch down, and I can control it. This one doesn't have that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've heard
that.
that about the new one. Like it has like a couple features that are drastically better, but then a few of the older features are missing.
But the ones that they put on here that are like the go-to quick buttons are like, okay, delay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then you have this resonator. I guess filter, I guess people would use that, but then you have like DJ effects looper. It's impossible to even figure out how that even works. It's so dumb. I mean, you can
and it's a
program
sampler,
it to
like
change it, but
right.
there
Well,
is,
I don't know what that. What did you say was the frequency shifter or something like that, or a spectral something?
the resonator.
Yeah, the resonator. I don't know what that is, but there may be a way to kind of like add a lower tone to your voice and make it a little creepy with that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I use
hell yeah, dude.
Brent's
Is
got
that
a
a
piece here.
metronome?
This is what I use sometimes. If I want to go a Dante, I just turn it up to about 80. I go a
Well,
Dante.
yeah, you're a piano player, right?
Yeah, and then if I want to go Allegro, I just hit probably 130, 120
Nice.
to 130.
What
this is
do
also
you
takes
have?
this takes batteries also. But
What is a Dante? Does that mean it's slower?
I think it means it's not all the way cooked.
That's el dente.
Oh, right.
Well, look, Largo is slow,
Mhm.
and Larghetto is, I guess, on the slow side too. Adagio is slower, but it's getting there. Andante picking up a little bit. Moderato is, I guess, a moderate
Moderate?
pace. Then Allegro's picking up, and then you got Presto, which is
Yeah.
getting even faster. And then Prestissimo. I guess that's really fast.
Prestissimo. I like that.
Prestissimo.
Brent, I was actually curious, like, what do you use as your practice piano? Do you have an electric one, or do you have like a upright, or?
I have an electric piano, yeah. Which,
Nice.
one day I'll maybe get a real piano,
Yeah.
but maybe it's some kind of tiny little spinette or something.
Yeah. My one of my close friends, he is a piano technician. That's his job, and he's got a concert grand in his living room, and then there's his wall, and his bedroom's on the other side, and right on the other side of that wall he has a baby grand. It's a little extra. But we went down during the pandemic.
Jeez.
He had been looking for a upright piano because they're always free on Craigslist and shit. So he wanted to turn one into an una corda. Are you familiar with those?
No, what is that?
So you know how, like, I don't know where it starts on the register, but I think in the upper mids, pianos have 3 strings per key.
Yeah.
So he took all the extra strings off, so it only has 1 string per key for the whole thing, and it just kind of, when you play it lightly with the damper pedal, it kind of has like almost like a plucked harpy, or like
a harpsichord
palm-muted guitar. No, because that's like the ting ting, really tingy one.
That's really the harpsichord's plucking straight up,
Yeah, it's so it might not translate on the mic, but like. Can you guys hear that?
a little bit, yeah.
I don't know. It's pretty. It's a nice little writing tool.
I guess it almost has almost a music box quality to it or something like that.
Kind of but yeah, if you really shaved off the like the treble frequencies, it's got a real it's almost like it's being passed through a low pass filter, like just slightly,
Huh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
What's that called? When it's just
Una corda.
Oh, okay, got it.
1 chord, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And this isn't like technically one of those, because it's like I forgot where the guy's from, but he kind of like invented these, and he's got one that's on like this 12-foot stilt, so he could have the strings be long enough. What's his name? Nils Fromm. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he made a whole album with one, and it's really cool.
I wonder if you can make a bass, like the piano doesn't go as low as like a stand-up bass, right?
A full concert grand, I think, gets pretty dang close.
Oh, really? Because I wonder if you could play like, like a stand-up bass, but like with somehow hammering it like a piano would hammer the string.
Didn't the guy from King Crimson put sticks on his fingers or some shit? I think maybe. It's pretty goofy looking. But...
All right, never mind.
You know what's interesting is the idea that when you hit a piano key, you're hitting 3 frequencies, really, that are, I guess, tuned. You're hearing, when you hear a tone from a piano key, you're hearing a combination of 3 frequencies that are kind of all around the same. They're all the same.
They're unison, though, right?
They are, but I guess what's interesting is that they could be slightly off, maybe. I don't know.
Well, my friend who tunes pianos, that's like one of the biggest issues is, I think it's because of what does he call it? It's the where it's like equal tempered harmonics or something. Like equal tempered tuning is really hard to do on a piano, and I think it's like certain areas you tune the harmonic to where it should be rather than the fundamental. And that's why, like, a lot of times, like if you're playing on the lowest and highest register, like you can kind of spot there's a little bit something off there, because the actual fundamentals, because if you tune the fundamentals in perfect unison all the way up, I could be speaking out of school here
Out of
and get this
tune?
wrong, but yeah, out of tune. Yeah. But I think the harmonics get so out of tune that they'll be like full semitones off by the time you're way up. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a whole fucking thing.
Well, I don't want to get too technical here because
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but we got to keep it maybe a little more broad. But
Yeah.
since we're talking gear, I could just show you a couple. I got the
I got
OP1.
the OP. Do you like that? Because that thing is very like people who like it love it, but I know it's
It's so-
very expensive.
It's so funny to go, I don't want to get too technical here. I mean, we should probably keep it broad. But, I also have the OP1, which is like, more obscure,
Well, no,
I think.
I just want to show you real quick my stuff. But the broader thing is I like how much a lot of people buy this gear, right? Because I'm on the Reddit pages and I look at the YouTube videos, and a lot of it that I buy. And by the way, I wasn't looking for the OP1, and I won't dox anyone, but they sold it to me for $100.
What? Holy
Yeah,
fuck.
I know.
That is
So
a
I had
crazy
to-
deal.
I had to take
yeah.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll just say this: it was a wealthy person that I don't think really used it, and I was like, "Oh, you got the OP1," and he's like, "Yeah, do you want it? I don't really need it. How about 90?" He goes $90, and I happen to have 100 in my pocket.
Nice.
But I do have.
Well,
I do
yeah,
have
I don't want to like get all technical either, but let me just tell you about my modular. Just
Wow.
joking. But I do have my electric drum set there, and I got to say, I found this website. Like, I was okay at drums, but I found this website. It was ultimatedrummingtechnique.com, I think.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that
I've heard
really-
it's informative, I heard. Yeah.
Dude, that helped me. Like, my chops got like on swole real quick with that.
Oh, that's
so,
good. That's good. Yeah.
I gotta.
It's a pretty, I think it's a resourceful website. I know a lot of people go to it. Dave Navarro, lots of professionals in the industry.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's not even a drummer.
yeah, right.
That's what I'm saying.
One more piece. I mean, whatever. But I got
the
this is my favorite.
Chaosolator?
This is my favorite. All right,
Chaos
the
Pad.
Chaosolator. It's a synth, and you can just play it with a finger
Right.
you can pick the key you want, and you just play it by tapping in this trackpad.
Right. And you
You
pick,
can't hit a
like,
wrong
the-
note.
Yeah, you pick a scale or mode, and then also can't you like assign your Y axis to like filter modulation and like all sorts of stuff like that?
That's
or
kind of
something?
just all pre-baked in there, but I
Okay.
wish there was a newer one, because like that's the ultimate instrument, but it's limited with the sounds that you got some cool sounds in there, but after you use them, it's like it'd be cool if you could like tweak it. I want an instrument where I don't have to learn piano and I could just use my finger and make songs with it.
You can't edit the synth voices on it? That seems crazy to me.
I don't think so, sir.
That's the yellow one. There's a red one. I'm not sure what that. There's the Chaosolator and then like the Chaos Pad maybe or something. Or
I got the Chaos Pad too. I mean, I use that a ton on office hours.
those are the tiny like cheaper versions. Though,
Well, no,
right?
there's a big one. I got the big one.
Okay.
It's I don't have it with me, but I also got the small Chaosolator right here.
Yeah, those are fun.
But I guess what I wanted to say is like I read recently that 50% of people that buy this stuff, and probably me included, if you're adding up my gear, we don't even use it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we call it GAS, gear acquisition syndrome.
Yeah.
It's really, really powerful when you get into the modular side of things because you're buying just little boxes that do kind of one job. So you're, like buying one thing doesn't build your whole, your whole instrument. And there's, you basically the only limit is your checkbook and fuck, how old am I? Checkbook, and how much space you have, because the case is also the power supply and all that. And they're fucking expensive. So a lot of people end up, especially like wealthy people who get into it, they'll have these enormous fucking synths. And yeah, and then I gave lessons for a little bit, and I had some students who I'm like, you're taking lessons and you just got into this, but you have like 3 times as much shit as I do. Like I actually would make them take them out and put them in a small case. Like you have picked 5 modules, and that's what we're going to do, because there's no way you're going to be able to.
Yeah.
And
so what comes with that, I have a milk crate filled with gear. I mean, I don't have a crazy amount. I got
Yeah.
a few things, but I often look down and I think I kind of feel guilty that I'm not using it. There should be a
Yeah.
term for that. Like it's
I think
like
it's
kind of
called privilege.
you kind of feel like a loser. It's like, man, I should be making
Yeah.
music with that, but I'm not. Why not?
Well, I mean, so
What
like
how
this is
can
it's a,
people use it there's gear more? What can they do? What are some
Schedule.
techniques?
I
Schedule it?
think you could schedule it. It kind of, depends on personality type, but I think like a lot of people will try something out for a little bit and maybe not like go deep into the manual. I certainly have been very guilty of this and be like, oh, I'm not resonating with this. But, are you getting it because you like to, like, what are you getting this gear for? Do you want to make music? Do you want to play live? Or do you just like to fuck around and just tinker and not record stuff, But if you're wanting to make music, I would suggest like really just acknowledging that this gear acquisition thing is a thing. And the best thing to do is just start really basic and try to get as much out of what you think is not a robust enough setup. Like try to get as like prove that to yourself. Like, oh, this is too simple of a setup for me to do what I want to do. And I'm going to show you that. And you would be like you in your head.
Yeah.
And then, because like something like this, like, it's $400, I think, battery powered, it's small. And, I even, would look at stuff like this before I got it. Like, oh, well, that's, I'm too advanced for that. And that's absolutely not true. This thing has been essential in my setup.
Now, Tim,
because I'm learning how to use it.
yeah, we should probably let our viewers know that you made the outro music for Poundhouse season 4, episode 1, volleyball.
Yeah.
You did the credit sequence.
Yeah.
Which is
that
really
was
cool.
Dude, that was so cool to have just for, thank you, by the way. It was a huge honor because I've loved Poundhouse since before I got into all this modular shit. I've been listening to you guys on podcasts. I mean, probably since like when Duncan and they had like the Lavender Hour, Natasha and Duncan, way back in the day. So it's pretty surreal even right now to be sitting here chatting with you, but to hear like you picked my favorite song from that record and just kind of the tone of that episode, like you made a new friend, but like your current friends are awful, and just kind of this forlorn kind of feeling. I don't know. I feel like it made me even like the song a little more. You see music paired right with a scene or something, or in the right context, and I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I guess if you make music nowadays, you have to have a music video.
Yeah.
It seems like you have to have a video.
Yeah.
And I thought videos were going away because when MTV went away, but it's actually videos are more important now because I guess with YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, there was a small period where music videos went away, but then they came back bigger than ever in a way, right?
I think they went away because I'm just thinking of this now, but my guess would be like we got to put like every song, we got to access every song we could possibly think of from our phone, and we had social media and everything, but it wasn't to the level of like the video. Like Instagram was very just simple pictures, and you couldn't, just shooting and editing on your phone and everything. Like all of that has just gotten so much easier, paired with all of the social media just being so video driven and clip driven. I think that's kind of what I think is going on.
Oh, for sure. And with TikTok, like musicians, they want their song to be on TikTok and go viral on TikTok, right? So
yeah. I'm actually working on a punk synth album about having adult ADHD because I was just diagnosed a couple of years ago, and it's been a real revelation.
Wow.
But I want to make like every song like 30 seconds long, and then just cut really just make it fucking dumb, just to kind of experiment with like this format of, well, people watch 30 seconds to a minute, and seems like they're always changing, like TikTok and everybody's always changing like what they favor in the algorithm, or what they like say is the best length or whatever. It's fucking weird, dude. I don't know.
What
Yes,
is
Brent.
is there a difference between adult ADHD and regular ADHD?
I guess there is, in the sense that if you're diagnosed younger, it can be addressed a lot more effectively and easily. I was diagnosed dyslexic when I was in 3rd grade, so that was the catch-all. And as I got older, because my parents were just like, you just have to pass. So I was like, okay. So I just got C's, and that was really fucking easy, just to make sure I passed. So I didn't try at all in school, because I thought, oh yeah, well, I have a learning disability. I'm kind of dumb. And I was like, okay with that, strangely. But like when I when I was a senior in high school, I just had one teacher kind of give me the right, like, reinforcement or whatever. Yeah. And then I went to college, and then I was like, can I get a 4.0 like one quarter? And I did. So not to say dyslexic people can't do that, but I don't know. I just, reading like all the, the telltale signs of both, I was just like, I think I might be ADHD. And after, yeah.
What is dyslexic?
Just, well, it's kind of
I
like
have a vague.
it's
I have like a
broad.
vague no. I have like a vague notion of it, like where you get kind of sentences scrambled and
Yeah,
words
so
backwards and things like that.
right. A
Letters.
big thing with that is, yeah, seeing or writing certain letters backwards. But like what they were saying, what my issue was, because I never saw things backwards. It was kind of like if you know the answer in your head, but you can't get it out somehow, or like I don't know. I think it's like a spectrum thing. But yeah, just kind of like a hard time focusing. There's a lot of overlap with ADHD too, so maybe I'm both, which, yeah, but
Well, how
yeah,
did you
I've
how did you come to realize you have ADHD?
honestly, because my one of my friends had a prescription for Adderall, and I just tried it, and then I was like, whoa, I can like focus on a task, like, and then, just kind of like over the years after that experience, because that was in grad school, and just kind of thinking about it and doing some research. And then I had a psychiatrist who I was seeing, and I asked if he would test me, and he's like, I don't think you have ADHD. And then I took the test, and he's like, you have full blown. Like,
What kind of things are on that test?
it's a lot of questions about like just behavioral stuff. Do you like, what do you notice? Like, one thing that I've noticed that I do, and it's, I'm like, holy shit, I've been doing that my whole life and didn't really realize that I was doing it or why. But if I'm in a party hanging out with a bunch of friends, it seems like every 10 to 20 minutes, I got to take a lap, I got to, like, even for 5 seconds, I just have to like kind of get out of the room for a second and then come back. So it's just like weird little behaviors like that. Just constantly forgetting, starting one task, not finishing, starting another, and
I think I
on
have.
down the
I'm
line.
pretty sure I got something like that.
Yeah, I
But
wouldn't be
maybe,
surprised.
I don't know. In this age of distraction,
Well, dude, yeah, yeah,
that doesn't help.
not
guess.
at all.
Yes, Brent.
Just out of curiosity, have you ever played a video game before that's long and you can't, or can you not finish long video games? But maybe it's not a pertinent question because you don't play video games at all.
I have, as I got older, I played like in high school and stuff, like playing video games. That was definitely the case. Like,
You couldn't
starting-
finish one.
I wouldn't finish it. And but there are a handful of games that I like that I'll see through. But I think the thing is with ADHD, the reason that you maybe don't finish things, or you're not really good at like participating, and it has to do with your dopamine responses. So like a person without ADHD, if they're like cleaning up their kitchen, I need to clean the kitchen today. They'll clean the kitchen, it'll get done, and they'll get a little tiny hit of dopamine. ADHD people don't really get that unless you're super interested in the thing. So I've finished the games that I was really into. Like I've got Final Fantasy VII tattoos. Like that's not a flex. I'm a dork, but like I finished those games. Mostly RPGs, like stuff with a
Well, that's
really
the thing is
engrossing
those
story.
the RPGs are the ones that take the most time, I guess. And
I think
dedication.
also though because they're not like button combo, like I like turn-based fighting, so it's like it's kind of low. It's like watching a movie that you kind of slightly interact with.
Okay.
You know how
Yeah.
just to go on a little tangent, do you know how like Moses had those 10 commandments that he wrote out?
On the tablets, yeah.
Yeah, and he went through all the trouble to get those, do you think he had BCHD?
Oh shit.
What is
Yeah.
the difference between what's ADD and ADHD?
I don't think there's a difference. I'm not sure. I'm also like, I want to say everything that I've said so far about all this is just kind of like what I've read and I'm not claiming to be. I could have said some wrong shit. So
Attention deficit disorder. What's the H in HD?
hyperactivity.
Hyperactivity. Okay.
And I think because of that, like growing up, like think about when we were like, middle school, elementary school age and shit. If you were the kid with ADHD or something, that was like the spazzy kid, like that's it. It seemed like for my whole life. And I think one of the reasons that maybe it got missed with me is because the hyperactivity thing I would be disruptive in class and stuff, but that was like my coping mechanism for not just, it's not like I was super hyper. It was more just like, I can't, like it's hard for me to sit down and even watch like a full movie. Like I love Andrei Rublev, like the Tarkovsky movie, which is like 3 hours long, but I watched it over 9 nights. Which
Yeah.
But you weren't bouncing around. You weren't some Tigger kind of like
No.
bouncing around.
No.
all over the-
no.
Well, I
Sometimes-
think,
Yeah.
I think, school is to put kids that are like, kids that age need to be like running around. Like
Yeah.
the whole
and not
day,
waking
the
up
whole,
that early, dude.
schools are just wrong. They need to rethink all of that. I have some friends that put their kids into this like sort of like outdoor school where they're like outdoors all day and then they still learn stuff, but yeah, just sitting in a desk is just so crazy to put
It's
a
pretty
child
rough.
like
Yeah.
from grade kindergarten to like
Well,
whenever, you're just
kindergarten's
sitting in not kindergarten, you're running around, but you know what I'm saying, like grade school to
First grade, yeah, you're
First grade.
sitting.
yeah, you're just in a desk, and it seems so. It just seems like not right.
I guess there were desks in kindergarten too, but I feel like it's the desks that you were in, even in first grade and second grade and third grade, actually, come to think. Actually, in all of elementary school, you're kind of sitting at those, you're not at those individual desks. You're,
Right,
you're,
yeah,
you're
you're
sitting at
kinda
the desk, at the group
Mhm.
desk,
Yeah, that's
which is
true.
a little more fun, I guess, or something.
Brent loves the desk situation, but I think in general, I guess I heard some conspiracy about like school is designed to just program these kids into going into the workforce. It makes them regimented for the bell is like, okay, time to get to the factory. It was
Yeah.
invented to train them into this mindset of like learning how to be a minion.
Wouldn't it
I
be-
mean, yeah, go ahead, Brent. Sorry.
Wouldn't
I've
it be
been talking.
interesting if they allowed children to choose if they wanted to go to school or not, like to learn or not, or like to do what they wanted to do for school? So, because, some people, okay, I did in high school, at least, there were certain classes that I enjoyed going to because I thought I was interested in what I was learning,
Yeah, me too.
and I thought that was cool. And then in college, even more so, this is really interesting, this thing. Or it's interesting because people, I think, don't really care about learning about stuff until they're a little older anyway. So I wonder if it'd be interesting if you could start elementary school whenever you felt that way, that you wanted to learn stuff. And so you could be a grown adult and go, I think I'm going to go to school, and you go to kindergarten, as a whatever, a 30-year-old. And then you go, and you could quickly probably learn stuff and go through the rank. You could go through the process a lot quicker than you would as a kid. But I wonder what the world would be like if a lot of people just didn't even go to school because they didn't want to, or something like that. Or what
Well,
if you could start
they-
working as
they're-
a child early if you wanted to,
Maybe they got to have. I'm not saying nobody should go to school at all, but I mean, kids probably need to learn how to read and write. We start with the basics. Once they got that, you can have a general class of like, we're going to do a little bit of math. We're going to do a little bit of this. We're going to do a little bit of art. We're going to do a little bit of home economics. And they should also be teaching kids about like
home economics,
Paying bills and like how does it work
home
to
economics? That's
rent
cooking.
and
Yeah,
should you worry about interest rates?
You do a little bit of everything. You learn about
I guess
Yeah,
math is pretty.
you learn a little bit about business, the way businesses work, and just the way the world works. And then it's like, at the end of the semester, they're like, which did you like? And then you start, and then you become a master by the time you're out of high school.
Yeah, well,
Being
then I
rap.
think there's like also like I like that, but there's this idea like imagine you at 18, like you're picking what you're deciding to do for the rest of your life.
Well, that's weird
Like,
too. But
That's
I
a
mean,
weird.
at the same time, yeah. I mean,
Not necessarily. You still don't have to pick what you want, but you would probably know better what you like. Because I know a
That's
lot.
true.
When I went
That's
into
true,
college, I
yeah.
didn't know what I wanted to do yet. I knew a general art. I wanted to be creative in a way, but I didn't.
Mhm.
I didn't go straight into film school until I went to junior college, and then I got into it. I got into that.
Okay.
Anyway,
by the way, I don't want to sound like I'm just saying, what if that was the world? I'm for school. I think. I mean, let's get these kids educated.
I think
I'm
the
for
biggest-
it, but I'm
yeah.
just saying it would be
I'm definitely
interesting.
pro education, but maybe there's a better way to teach. Maybe
Well, maybe
You know.
we have terrible education here. But yeah. Also, I think the hours of school, like they're built around the workforce, right? And,
Well,
and
yeah.
logistically,
kids
it
don't
makes
need to be
sense, like,
getting up at 6 a.m.
the
they're
hours are.
supposed to-
That's
yeah,
hours are
they're
me-
supposed to
that's
sleep
messed
like
up.
12
That's messed
hours,
up.
dude.
We need to change the hours.
Got to change
Yeah.
those hours.
Those hours need to change. That
Yeah.
Look, I think you could keep school the same. You know what they need to do is they need to break the classes up. You have to have longer breaks so that if you can
Yeah,
take naps in
think that's
between
true.
classes, that
Yeah.
could work for me because
Mhm.
you see, that was my big issue in high school was staying up certain periods. I would just get really sleepy during certain periods and I couldn't stay awake. And that's why in college I scheduled my classes so that I could take little naps in between classes and I wouldn't
Yeah.
have that problem.
Yeah, for sure. I used to fall asleep during what's it called when you have like a period where you're just like study hall,
Well, or
would just
yeah,
be-
a recess, or
That would be sleep time.
sometimes they would call it nutrition. I would eat my lunch usually during that time, which was around 10:30 or something like that. So when I got into the third period, I was just I was digesting, I guess, or something. And
Yeah, you're in a food
I remember U.S. history. There's some interesting stuff going on probably that he's talking about, but I just was falling asleep. I could not stay up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
We got to change those hours.
I think that's the thing, man. But
Now,
then we
Tim-
need babysitters.
Tim, as
Maybe-
I've told you, we like to solve people's problems. And
Yeah.
I ask our guests to bring anything that might annoy them,
Yeah.
or anything you'd like to discuss, and we'll fix it for you. And I'll start off with one because it relates to games. Because I have a few games on my phone. I don't have a home game system, but I have some games on my phone. I like puzzle games and stuff like that.
Don't you have an Atari 2600?
I used to.
Oh, it's not anymore. Okay.
No, I don't have one.
Do you do the spelling bee and the connections and all that?
I
That's
do
been my
those. Yeah,
thing
I do.
lately,
I do.
yeah.
I do those. Those are fun. Connections is fun. I don't do spelling bee too much because I don't
See,
like.
that's my jam.
You don't
dude.
know where it ends. It's just sort of.
Well, go to hints. If you go to hints, it'll tell you how many words there are, how many
I like to
points,
see
and
like
the
a time thing where it's
panagrams.
like, how far am I getting to the? You know what I mean? I guess I
Yeah,
could do that,
yeah.
but anyway, that's not my favorite. I like the crossword, but
How did you feel about the connections when they did it with the emojis the other day? I thought that was some bullshit.
That was
dumb.
cool. That was April Fool's
You
Day.
liked it. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
that
April
was
Fool's
awesome.
Day. That's why they did
Yeah,
it. Okay.
that was awesome.
I didn't
Huh.
like it, but now that I wish I would have put it into that context. I think I changed my mind. I think I do like
I
it
might
now.
have failed it, but I think I got at least one of them.
I think I got a couple. Yeah,
I got
but
a
I didn't
couple
do well.
bars down there.
Yeah.
But I'm into that. That was you know what they should do real quick with connections? Because okay, you got to get these 4 groups of 4, right? By the
Mhm.
time you get to the 3rd one, you have the 4th one solved.
Right. Yeah.
They should throw a few
They should-
dummy ones in there,
That's a really good idea.
you know,
Let's write them a letter, dude.
to make it a little
Handwritten.
bit like once you get to the 3rd, the 4th one's just a layup. It's already lined
Yeah.
up, bruh.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't know what you guys are. I don't know what Connections is, but I assume it's some sort of daily game or something that you play.
The
or
daily
whatever.
game,
Yeah.
it
Right.
has a grid of was for 16 words, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
16 words.
There's 4 of them. It's 4 groups of 4 that are connected, words that are connected. So if there was
And it
like,
has a personality like their crossword puzzle. Like you have to kind of get to know the personality of the game almost, like
Right.
to understand the.
so
to find
if
the
there could be words in there like pimple, knuckle, winkle, and whatever, and they'll be like words associated with Pound House or whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
That would be one group of 4.
Oh, I see. I
What's
see.
that?
Well, check this out. There's this game because you said there was emojis. There was this game. There's a game that I was playing. I mean, I've been playing these movie games. I'm not playing them right now, but they're the daily movie kind of trivia kind of games.
Oh yeah, the poster or the where you have to guess it in 5 guesses based off the images or something.
Well,
What
there's
is
a
that?
bunch.
Is that
There's so
going-
many.
okay.
I probably tried that one out.
I played that a few times. That's pretty fun.
Well, there's
Yeah.
one though that's called Movie Emoji, I think, and it's neat because you have to guess the movie based on these emojis that are put
Ooh, I
out
wanna
one
play
by one.
this.
There's one that's put out. You have to guess it based on the one, and then if you're wrong, it'll give you another one, and so on. And then it also helps you if you guess a movie, it will help you with the year of the movie. So if you say the
Okay.
movie is from 1990 and you guessed a movie from the 70s, it'll say 76. It will say, okay, it's higher than 76, and then or whatever, and it'll kind of help you
Mhm.
narrow that down. I think it might even help you. Yeah, I think that's it, something like that. But anyway, I've gotten that on my first try sometimes with just there's
Yeah.
one image. It's kind of neat that there's these sort of hieroglyphic type images almost, and you're understanding what it's trying to say. It's trying to
Right,
describe the movie. That's kind of fun.
Um,
So that emoji thing you said kind of
Oh,
made me think of
speaking
that.
of that, Brent, there's do you know the artist One O Tricks Point Never? I know it's a weird name. He's like,
yeah.
Daniel Lopatin.
Yeah. Well, he did the music to something.
Good
the Uncut Gems, right, or something.
Yep. Yeah, he's done
Yeah.
2 Safdie Brothers
With
movies.
Daniel Lopatin, right? Is his
Yeah,
name, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I used to. He had this duo Lopatin. What was it? Something in Lopatin. I forgot what
It was was it Tim Hecker?
no, I know what
'Cause
you're
he's
talking
done
about,
stuff with
Brent.
Tim Hecker.
He has this really cool side project that's like, is it kind of
Yeah.
like it's almost like 80s
Yeah.
pop
Well, there was-
music. kinda.
Right. There was a track that I like called Emergency Room. What was that? Something in Lopatin or whatever. But then before that, wasn't he in Games or something like that? Or he had a group called Games?
No, I mean he's been One O Tricks Point Never since probably 2010s or earlier, maybe like 07, 06. But he has a video off an album called R+7. The song is Boring Angel, and the entire video is a story told in emojis. And by the end of it, I feel like moved by this, and it's all just emojis. And yeah, I think you should check it out. It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
cool.
And by the way, Ford in Lopatin is what it was.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't listened to that one.
Okay, well,
that's cool.
I brought up before you guys sidetracked me for 10 minutes. I mentioned games because I have an annoyance about games on my phone. Is that this happens a lot? Is when you finish a puzzle and it gives you like some kind of stupid award. It's like you've earned 5 golden things. It's like
Yeah,
blink,
yeah.
and it's like click to accept, and you have to like watch some dumb animation. And it's like just let me play the next round. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like that happens.
yeah.
So many games are like that. You've earned
I
your.
think-
You have to like hit OK. You can't just exit out. You have to like watch the little gold go into the bucket, and
Mhm.
then a little badge comes on to like whatever. You're collecting a new badge, and why do games have to do that? I don't care.
Doug, that is prescient the
Right?
word?
Do you
I don't
guys
know. Like
share
this
that?
is
Do you share that annoyance or not?
this is going to be one of my problems.
Okay,
Kind of. Very similar. But
let's hear it.
But so yes, I do. But I don't want
No.
to. I don't want to just cut off your problem. But mine is very similar. So yeah, I have a whole list of things that got my fucking. It's just they got my acorns on dry, dude. Fucking. So Temu, you know Temu?
Yes, I do. Yes, that app is like a game, right? It
Dude,
gamifies
it's like
shopping.
it's a gamify, it's a casino, it's like a slot machine, phone game, Amazon combination. And it's kind of got me, dude. And I know what it is. I know what's happening. I get these, ooh, hey, a free gift box. And you spin what
You
can you
spin
get?
the thing. Yeah, what's your
5%,
savings gonna be?
20%.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, extra turn or $100 off. And it's always, oh, one more chance. And then you always get the biggest prize. And it's all cheap shit. But I like the fucking thing holding my phone right now that I'm using as a camera, and the thing my camera's plugged into. Like, so I found that it's good to get like the cheap, like the stuff that doesn't need to be real high quality, like your little stands and shit like that. But do I need this, Doug and Brent? Like, did
Why
I
do you
need
have-
that?
What did
Well,
you get
because-
that from Temu?
Because I needed $4 more to get free shipping, and they were fucking putting this in my face. I also have a problem with keeping track of my files, my video files. So I was actually thinking about using this for what it's for, but I don't have a fucking piece of chalk.
Well, do you shoot videos in Slate and sync up audio?
More for like when I'm looking at thumbnails, I can just see what it was and where it was at, because
Oh.
I tend to just like throw all my files onto drives, and then when I'm like, "Where's that one?"
What are you
it's kind
shooting?
I make short films. I shoot a lot for the show, like demos. I do what I call remote performances, where I get my synth out with a battery pack, and I go somewhere beautiful. And I've played in front of a erupting geyser, in front of a bison in Yellowstone.
I watched them.
Yeah, on the rim of
Yeah.
Crater Lake.
Yeah, they're cool. Yeah.
So yeah,
I-
thanks, dude. Yeah, and honestly, just like, you know, getting into like your guys' comedy so long ago, like, you know, there's that saying, every musician wants to be a comedian, and every, you know, vice versa. Like, I want to, like, I love films. I want to be a filmmaker, but I also like understand, like, I've been honing this musical craft for a while. Like, just because I'm good at one thing doesn't mean I'm gonna automatically be good at the other. So I'm just kind of like fucking around right now and just trying to make like stupid short films, and like, because like the gear tube thing, like I know what world I'm in. Like, I make my money off of, you know, advertising synths and demonstrating them. There's just a lot of people who do that on YouTube, and a lot of people who do it a lot better than I do. So I've been trying, like, I'll make short films that are kind of the promotional thing for the piece of gear. It's like weird, rather than just be like, hey, this is how this works, because, and then I'll score the film with the piece
With
of
the
gear.
gear.
Because I'm just trying to do something
do you
a little
make
different.
do you make a living by doing gear demos?
Well, the podcast through ads and Patreon, that's like half of my income. I also teach at an electrical apprenticeship. So I used to be an electrician. I went to this apprenticeship, but I hated being a construction worker. So I applied to be an instructor because I had some teaching background from grad school and stuff.
Can I ask
So yeah.
what are you double strapped like
Oh, dude, no, this is my dork
do you have
belt.
guns on your body?
No,
What-
no. So this is what my friends called the dork belt. My wife has one. It's black and it's dual flapped. This dude in France makes them or something. And I like to wear my little teeny tiny shorts, and I get hot in the summer. I don't like to have a bunch of shit on in my pockets.
I thought it was some sort of back
Um,
brace thing or something.
No, I'm glad you asked, because I
Yeah, so
realized
for the
once you were like, "Is
listeners-
there guns?" I don't want your audience to think that I'm sitting here like Steven Crowder with a couple fucking guns in me.
I was thinking more like what's that Keanu Reeves movie where he's always shooting people?
John
Point-
Wick.
Point
Like
blank.
John Wick over here.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I thought it was one of those back brace things, or one of those things that I usually see older men wearing, that it's like it wraps around your waist, you know,
To keep to keep you like up or
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, I
Or
know,
it's
yeah.
something for lower back. I don't know. I thought it was some sort of, or I thought it was something, maybe you had some sort of back condition that you've always had, and it was just some sort of brace that you always wear. or
Right. You brought. I think you just solved a problem I didn't know I had. So you guys are like really fucking good at your job. This has to be addressed. You can't just show up with this, especially in this situation where you can't really see what's going on, like 'cause
Yeah.
the cameras. And
So okay,
Right.
for the listeners,
it's got to be acknowledged.
for the listeners, Tim is wearing. At first glance, it's two straps going down his chest with some kind of holster on either
saddlebags,
side,
kinda.
saddlebags on either side that look similar to, I don't know what
gun holsters.
a gun holsters.
Yeah,
but
that's the thing I
specific
don't
kind
like.
that go on your like the side of your chest kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
like
when
the
I
ones
was-
that police officers, detectives wear and stuff,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's fuck, man. You guys are kind of. I had to think on this, but I hope
Well,
you're not
look, I
talking me
didn't
into
think you
not
had a
like
bad-
because
I
I
didn't
don't want to
think-
give that vibe.
I actually thought it didn't look like a gun holster thing. I thought it was. I didn't even want to ask about it because I thought it was a private issue about your back or something like that. Or I thought it was
Yeah.
you had a back condition or something.
I mean, but if somebody had, if say I did have that back condition, maybe this is just me being an asshole, but like if I wore this color shirt with that, like I'm kind of begging for it. Like I honestly put these on. I mean, I wear them all the time, but I consciously kept them on because I thought they'd be a good, conversation topic. But
Oh, that's funny. I didn't ask about it. I specifically thought, I wonder what those straps are about. But I thought, you know what? Let's not go there. Maybe it's private. I don't.
Well, I thought
these
we
are
could
really
go, I thought we could
polarizing.
go
Is
there.
why I wanted to talk to you guys about them.
Yeah, I thought it would be safe topic because I actually assumed it wasn't a gun and it wasn't because if it was a back brace, it would have that big thing around the belly,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I thought it was
yeah.
some kind of utilitarian tool, and perhaps a synthesizer strap or something.
It's
you
from
know?
a keytar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
They
I got to be
kinda-
ready at all times.
It kind of looked like a parachute, like you just parachuted into your place or something like that.
So yeah, I mean, it's called a dork belt for a reason. Like I realize it's not like it's fashionable, but in like
Well, it's time to rename
That's
it 'cause
specific.
we don't want to call it that. Then it's gonna, if you think you're wearing a dork belt, then you're gonna feel like
You're
a
gonna
dork
feel like a
belt.
dork
So
belt.
you want to call it something. Let's rename it and take that strap back. It should be called the
Yeah.
stud strap or something.
Yeah, call it a cock strap.
The man strap.
No, because dork means penis, so it's like cock strap.
does,
You make it
right.
sound more, more whatever, or a dick strap.
Now, I had a thought about what we were talking about earlier about getting all this gear and getting bogged down. And then you get this paralysis about creativity.
hmm
And I read something recently that if something doesn't give you a burning desire, because people ask me, like, what software do you use to edit? What do you do this and that, And I think one of the secrets to being a creative person, and this is something you can't really learn, is that you got to have a burning desire.
I call it the compulsion.
You
Yeah,
got to have a
that-
burning desire. If you have,
Yeah,
people
you
say,
have to do it. I think.
yeah, like people say, I also read something recently, like people say, oh, I want to have a beach bod, right?
Mhm.
But they just say that. It's like they want it, and then there's people that say, I want to have a beach bod, and then they go to the gym and then they go get it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So unfortunately, you have to like want it in that second way. You got to have that compulsion. You got to have a burning desire.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I don't have a burning desire to play with my OP1,
Get rid
I'm
of it.
probably just going to have to sell it on Reverb
Yeah.
at a profit.
So what? Yeah, at a huge profit. What I do is because I get sent stuff quite a bit, and I know how prohibitively expensive this shit is. I couldn't afford to do it. I will like kind of let stuff build up, and then I'll do random giveaways to my Patreon subscribers. Like, hey, there are 5 mystery boxes. First 5 people to say I want one, get what's in the box. But some stuff is pretty expensive, and I don't make a whole lot of money, so I'll sometimes have to sell that. But if it's like something where I'm like, if it was $100 piece of gear, like I don't know, I'd rather just give it to somebody who doesn't have a lot
I hear
of
that.
stuff or
I hear
something.
that too. I have stuff that I give away to people who would like really put it to use.
Yeah.
By the way,
What's that?
sorry, real quick. Oh, sorry. I don't want to interrupt that. Any more stuff about that stuff?
Well, I wanted to mention that since you brought your Patreon up, I have a Patreon that I've had for years, patreon.com/DougPound.
Mm-hmm.
That, it's $2 to join at the lowest tier. And I kind of like once in a while will put stuff on there, but I'm going to bring that back to life. And I've enlisted Jack Birch, our own Jack Birch, to help me edit videos for that. So I'm going to be, if anyone's interested, they can check that out. And I'm going to be putting more focus on that because I don't have a burning desire to edit stuff. But if I enlist Jack, I could shoot stuff and I could delegate it to him. Anyway, it's a boring story, but I'm kind of getting into that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think
check it out.
Finding somebody to help out with the stuff you don't have the burning desire to do is super important. Like, maybe you have the burning desire for the final product. But
I do, yes.
It takes so much work. Like,
yes,
you guys
and
know how much work
I only have so much time to edit and do this and that. So I'm going to experiment. It's an experiment of delegating whatever. You get the point.
I'm kind of doing a similar thing right now. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, go ahead, Brent. I feel like
No. You go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just like I started this thing called the featured artist program, not program, but just the featured artist segment on my show where send in your music and then I'll cut some of my footage because I go on walks just about every day. I have my camera with me constantly, so just to basically practice. So I've just got like tons and tons of, I guess, B-roll type stuff, and so I just practice editing, and so they send in their music and I make a little video for the episode. And I would like, it's just so hard for me anyways to keep on top of the booking and then the editing and then the creating the demos, learning the modulars, so I got a person to help me out. They just basically, they handle the emails for the submitted, stuff from the artists. They put a little like MTV style graphic of information and they just send me that video with their song and information. And then I just plug that into so it's like, they're very simple tasks of, responding to emails and downloading stuff. But like, it's just one more thing off of my plate. It's been really, really useful. And I got another guy that's like helping me with cutting stuff for just like, TikTok and Instagram because I do it weekly and it's just it's a lot of fucking work. You guys know, we've been doing this shit for a long time. So
yeah.
I had a couple closing observations. These are, not really related to what we were talking about, but one of them is related. But one is that I realized that your voice, not the rhythm of it, but maybe the timbre or something, it kind of sounds like Nick Rutherford to me.
Let me hear.
I know that name. Who's Nick Rutherford? I know that name. My
You know what
name's
I'm
Nick
saying, Doug?
Rutherford.
I closed my eyes and now I'm hearing it. Yeah. He's a friend of ours, a comedian.
Yeah,
I thought so. Okay.
You can,
Yeah,
I think he writes on Rick and Morty, and he's on an Adult Swim show that
Dream Corp.
Which
I know
I
if
edited
I saw him,
the
but-
pilot for Dream Corp, and he was on Dream Corp.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
so that's one. Two, going back to the strap thing,
Mhm.
the first thing I thought I remembered is that I thought you were wearing a backpack kind of like a skater does. You know how skaters just keep
Oh,
their backpack
dude.
on all the time?
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
just thought you were some kind of skater guy, and he just wears a backpack all the time. Or
I haven't
whatever.
left 98, dude.
Yeah.
Got my independent truck sweatshirt on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Tim, yeah, back to the strap. Why not a fanny pack?
I was rocking the fanny pack for a while. I do like the fanny pack.
I don't like how it rests right on the balls.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna wear it on my actual
I'm not going to
fanny.
wear it on the fanny. Yeah. Then
No,
you got to sit
'cause-
down with it. You can't do it.
Exactly. Yeah. To be honest, I have yet to find a fanny pack that I feel like I connect with
Mhm.
aesthetically.
Well, you know what's funny? Now that we're talking about this, I don't know if I showed these on the show before, but I've been experimenting with clothes, and you can see my sewing machine right there.
Oh no shit. Nice.
And because I like to have pockets on all my stuff,
Uh-huh.
so I take shirts. For example, you see this shirt I'm wearing now. It's your
Uh-huh.
standard thermal, and I would put pockets in it, and I can go grab it and show you if you want. We can close out the
Dude.
show with a couple pieces that I made.
Yeah, dude, give us a
Now, you guys
fashion
talk
show.
for a second. I'm gonna go grab a couple pieces, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I used to carry a bag with me everywhere. I used to have a purse, and it's
Mhm.
strapped around, diagonally across my chest or whatever, and it would be at my side, and that's what I had for a long time. And then I wasn't strapping, and I was just sort of holding it with my hand. But then eventually, I don't want to be weighed down anymore. I want to be free. So I try
Yeah.
to carry as least amount of stuff as possible on me. All I carry on me myself at this point are just my key. Actually, I'll leave my house key or whatever in my car. Usually, I'll just my car key is what I'll carry on me. Just the one
Uh-huh.
key,
Yeah.
and then my ID or my driver's license and my and 2 credit cards. That's it.
Mhm.
I just have 3 cards and a key. That's all I have on me, and I don't. And I
Yeah.
put those in pockets, and I want to be free.
I totally get that. I think I don't know if this is related to my ADHD or whatever, or whatever my non-neurotypicality combo is, but I've always like I've a pad of paper, like the Write in the Rain, like the waterproof little notebooks. So like I'll have
Okay.
one of those in here, like a pocket knife,
Yeah.
guitar picks, Yeah, dude, I fucking love Write in the Rains. They're awesome. So, and do I use this shit everywhere I go? Absolutely not. But it's just
yeah.
yeah.
I used
right,
to
let-
do the same thing. I would carry a disposable camera in my bag. I would carry a pocket translator, for Spanish and French.
Yeah.
Just in case I wanted to know how to say something in Spanish or French. And then I would carry a phone book that something like something like this, like a phone book.
Mhm.
And I would carry a watch in there, just a lot of stuff. And then I just thought, I don't really use this stuff that much. And I was taking less pictures on the disposable camera. I just thought, I don't need all this. I want to go free. I want to be free.
Yeah.
I'd carry my
Yeah.
wallet in there, of course.
And that goes back to the burning desire thing. If you think you want to be a musician or a filmmaker and you're just not doing it, it's okay. You got to cut it free. And that goes for like stuff you have around your house, your shirts,
Yeah.
that it's like, I love that shirt, but do I wear it?
Mhm.
No, I got to cut it free. Now, you
That's
guys want to see the fashion show now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready? All right. So this used to be just a crew neck sweatshirt, right?
Oh shit, I like it. It's like white piping.
And I put some this is really like, so I added the zipper here. You see the zipper?
Oh shit.
And I
okay.
made these pockets by just cutting a piece of colorful, funky fabric.
Uh-huh.
And I got the zipper pockets.
Dude.
And of course I got these badges made on Etsy.
Huh.
It's all shined out. I can't. Does it say
It's
something?
basically
on it, or-
like it says Doug Pound, but I have these other
Okay.
ones that say other I got 2 different ones made. And here's the thermal that I made with the
Hell
zipper.
yeah.
Huh.
And maybe on Unzipped, we'll take this all the way down. You know what I'm saying? And I got this one's got pockets in it too. Zip up pockets. It's got my own branding right here.
What's on the other
Dude.
side of the pocket?
Oh, there's nothing funky. It's just white.
Oh, okay.
But you know,
That's pretty cool, man.
And Unzipped, we'll take a look. You know, see what's down there.
Yeah.
Now here's something cool that I'm getting into next. Check this out. I always thought, because I like shirts you can zip down.
Mm-hmm.
I like that sexy look that Brent likes. And I've never seen a T-shirt with a zipper, so I made one.
Dude.
This is a T-shirt, bro, and it zips all the way down.
Dude, with that style collar too,
Think
I
about
feel
how
like.
sexy- no, it's just a regular ass T-shirt.
Oh, okay, all right.
But this has
Well, I
my
mean-
other bag. This badge says Doug Pound DJ wear. You can't really see it, and it's like way smaller than I hoped. But yeah, so I got these zip up, and you know what's gonna be next?
Zip up fucking
No, this could solve your
Sleeveless?
problem. It's gonna have pockets, bro.
dude.
T-shirt
I
with
like-
pockets.
I think you're onto something here. Now, maybe I need to commission you to make me a fanny pack for
What
when
about
it's not time for the straps.
Well,
you
I don't know. I don't know if I can make a fanny pack. No, Tim, I have one more thing to show you. One more secret
All right.
that might solve some of your problems.
By the way, what about
I'm wearing-
zip up briefs?
You see, I'm
Anyway.
wearing a dude,
Just-
right?
Yeah.
Let's
ooh.
go. The
That's
pubes would
pretty
be caught
sexy.
right in
Yeah.
there. You got to keep those pubes nice and trim. But
Gotta trim that Mons. Yeah.
see, we're both wearing corduroy hats now, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, I got this one in Australia because it got the quokkas on there, which I went to
Oh,
visit.
I thought those were bulldogs. I can't really see it in the.
There, there's
Okay.
these like marsupial cute animals that
Yeah,
live on this
yeah.
one
Oh, that's
island outside of
adorable.
Perth. But you know what the cool part about this hat is? Much like a marsupial,
No way,
got a little pouch right here.
dude. That's where the fucking credit cards.
So
and the
you could
cash go.
lose. Yeah, so you can put the wallet up there. You could probably put, bringing it back to synths. You know, you could put one of these.
I was like, yeah, little pocket
somebody sent me
operator.
a
or something?
pocket operator. Somebody sent me one of these. You know.
Those things are surprisingly robust for what they are, like how they
Yeah.
appear. I think they're pretty.
It
cool.
looks
Just-
really like that's why I put it in this bag. I'm scared. It looks like it's gonna. There's no housing on it. You know.
Yeah.
It's also
yeah.
not that much. You're not saving much space with it not having housing. You know?
I know.
right. Yeah.
I know. So
It's just put the housing on it. It's the same thing, pretty much.
wait, let's close out the episode with some more gear, real quick.
See, look, this is here's some gear.
Dude, can you spell boobs on it?
I could actually.
Eric Andre gave me this. Somebody
Oh,
must have
those-
given it to him. Do you know what this is?
Yeah. Landscape makes some crazy stuff.
Tim,
I've had
Brent, you
Land-
might like
them on the
this.
show.
This is you put a tape cassette in here,
Oh yeah.
and then
Really?
and then these come down, and then you could like turn the cassette and kind of scratch it.
Really?
and it
One
has
spins
these-
a lot faster than the other, right? One's like way
has-
slow or
Yeah, yeah. And it has these other things that when your fingers touch it, they alter the, I don't know, the sound of it somehow.
Oh, that's interesting.
yeah. I've had Eric
I
from
did use
Landscape
this.
on the show.
I did use it.
Boobless. Dude, that's pretty great.
Boobless.
Yeah, you know about boobless?
I didn't know about boobless. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, man, that's how we do it out here.
Yeah, Doug,
We do-
that
that's
guy,
how we
all
do
that
it down
guy's
here
stuff's
is-
pretty cool.
This thing's kind
Those
of
are fun.
but it's
I
a
mean-
fun little cheap thing that makes some noise.
Bring it camping.
Oh, dude, talk about camping.
Dude, that's me and my wife's like favorite thing to do.
I got the blip blocks, which is a
Dude, the-
children's
The
synth.
After Dark
got
version,
the
I had
After
that
Dark.
too.
I got the
Fuck.
blip blocks after dark.
Those things are fun as
Now
hell.
this I
man.
don't use, but I will use it.
Mhm.
I've played a lot with it. It's fun. But
Yeah,
I
I-
want to make like tracks with it because you can make some. It's got some cool stuff in there.
It's a real synth engine. Yeah, they sent me two of them. And I did like an After Dark performance by the fire.
Now this I
Micro
don't
Brute or
use.
Drum Brute.
I got
Yeah,
the
I
drum
never-
Brute impact. This I
I never
don't
really
use. This
gelled
was
with those.
yeah. Anyway, I gotta get rid of this somehow. But perfect condition if anyone wants it. I'll give you a
Dude,
deal.
Brent, I know this is like this might bring you back into the gear conversation. So I had a module made
Oh,
of me. Like, so my friend made a joke module with this stupid picture. It's a long story. For a friend's birthday, we did a photo shoot and made a fake cult pamphlet for our friend for her birthday. So this was my character, and she made me a fake module. And then I worked for a modular company at the time. So I don't know if you noticed, we've got some switches here. But we made it into an actual thing, and we made 100 of them. So there are 100 of these floating out there in the world.
Oh, really? Cool.
Called the Bleep Bloop 2000.
That's
Hey,
cool.
Brent. There's someone else he sounds like.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's someone else he sounds like even more, Brent.
Oh yeah. And are you going to reveal that now or on the after shit?
Should we unzip it, dude?
Yeah.
I might have to reveal it on the Unzipped. Get some Patreon subscribers signing up just to listen to who I think
Yeah. Who you think
he sounds like. That another person
This'll
that he
be-
won't even never even heard of anyway.
This will be good though, because I've been wanting to do,
Oh my God, he
bonus type
sounds so
stuff
much
with
like
my-
this. Once you hear it, Brent, you're gonna be blown away. You're gonna be blown away.
You know what's funny? I've never got the sounds like, but my whole life I've always been told you look like my good friend so and so.
I don't think you
and-
look like anyone. I have no look. I have no look like. I got some sound.
Well,
bites.
I got a good looks like story for Unzipped as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got a lot.
Yeah, one
Hey,
of my
guys,
favorite stories.
Oh, and on Unzipped, I have a game
Oh,
called
right,
Guess the
Unzipped.
Lyrics, where I'm gonna play you a cappella bits of songs. Try to see if you can
Okay.
figure out what the hell they're saying.
Can't wait.
Okay.
Can't wait. Hey, look, come on, guys. Patreon.com/Poundcast. There's a lot of fun to be had. I think we're in store for here.
Yeah, and the
And-
Modular Modcast, you can find that where?
Everywhere you get your pods,
And-
YouTube, and
And what kind of
all
stuff
that.
do you cover on that show?
I interview people who use synths, but also synth adjacent. Like I had Jason Lytle from Granddaddy on recently. I've had a couple of the Deerhoof people on. So I don't just talk about like synths. I mostly try to just talk about what you were talking about earlier, but like kind of digging into everybody's personal version of what is your like the compulsion, or what is it this thing you have to do, like where'd that come from, and
Burning
how
desire.
did that lead you here, the burning desire. Yeah, so I try to do it more of like just like a general talk to an artist, but when I have a manufacturer on and they have a new thing out, sometimes it does get a little in the weeds as far as like getting pretty gear heavy.
Well, that's
kinda
cool
like, yeah.
because I mean, there's people want to hear about that if they're listening to the Modular Modcast.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
I'm going to put the Unzipped part on my Patreon too, but I feel like now I'm competing with your guys' Patreon, and I don't want to step on any
no,
toes.
please
but
tell us your
Oh.
Patreon. Please.
It is patreon.com/Podular Modcast.
Now, which one's the / and which one's the? You know what I'm saying?
I think backslash is
Is like
going like
The top of it is aiming back.
yeah, the top's hanging back
To the
right?
left.
And / is going to the right.
Okay,
yeah,
now we
I
got
think
that all cleared up.
Going forward.
Yeah.
It's tilting forward, kind of.
the /
Forward /
Right.
tilt
Yeah, yeah.
forward. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
To the right. I mean,
/
which is-
/ is when the guitarist of Guns N' Roses is driving towards his
No, it's
destination.
when that's the position he plays in basketball.
You just punched it up. All right, we'll see you Unzipped, and this is coming down, so you're getting ready for a real treat, baby.
Hey, thank you, Jack Birch, behind the scenes. We'll see you in a bit.
Thank you guys for having me on. This has been a blast.
Hey, thank you for having us on.
Yeah.
Killer guest, killer show, and we'll see you Unzipped in just a second. Peace.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends, and Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.